Good morning. By accident, the Dvar Torah after Minyan this morning was filmed in slow motion, so we're going to do a quick do-over. Number one, I'd like to thank Stuart Austin for sponsoring breakfast again this morning. Just a quick thought on the Parsha. In this week's Parsha, we're introduced to the mitzvah of Bris, where Avram's descendants, male children, are supposed to be circumcised at 8 days old as part of the covenant. The word Bris means covenant between God and the fledgling Jewish nation. And as we all say, or many of us say in the Haggadah, after the main body of the Haggadah, we sing additional songs. One of them is, who knows the various numbers in Judaism? So Shmona mi odea, Shmona me Milah. We say, who knows 8? 8 is representative and symbolic of the days on which a Jewish male child is circumcised. He's circumcised on the 8th day. So the question is, what is the symbolism of the number 8? So the Maharal of Prague explains very beautifully. He says the number 6 is representative of pure physicality. He says we live in a three-dimensional physical world with 6 sides to it, like a three-dimensional cube has 6 sides, east, west, north, south, up, and down. So to our three-dimensional world has, he calls shesh ktsavot, 6 sides. So 6 represents pure physicality, our physical material world. That's why there are 6 days of the work week. What does 7 represent? Maharal explains 7 is pure spirituality. It's like the point at the center of that three-dimensional cube, what he calls the Nukuda HaMerkazis, the central point, the godly spark in the middle of that physical three-dimensional cube, which gives life and existence to physicality. It's the soul of physicality. So too, he explains, that's what Shabbos is, essentially the soul. It's a day of spirituality, pure spirituality. We withdraw from the day-to-day, and it's the soul of the week. It gives vitality and blessing and life to the week. 8 represents, the Maharal explains. The Maharal says that 8 represents the infusion of the spirituality of 7 into the physicality of 6. It's the merger of the two. And in our scheme that we've set about in terms of the days of the week, 6 days of work, 7th day is Shabbos. 8 would represent the Sunday, the day after Shabbos, if you will, the day-to-day, which hopefully the blessing of Shabbos overflows into the following week, into that Sunday, the day after Shabbos, and uplifts and gives blessing and infuses with meaning and spirituality. So that's what 8 is. 8 is taking the spirituality of 7 and infusing it into the day-to-day, into the physical, into the mundane. So that's really what Bris Milah is. Bris Milah is we're taking the most physical part of the human personality, the desire, the reproductive desire, and we're elevating it and sanctifying it. So that's why it's on the 8th day. And that's really symbolic of our special covenant with God. That's the Jewish people's role in the world, is to take the mundane, to take our physical world and to uplift it, to use it, these physical items and objects, use the physical world and use it for spiritual purpose and uplift it and give it meaning and purpose. So that's the idea of 8, and that's the idea of Bris Milah, and that's the special koach that the Jewish people have. That's why we enter into the covenant with God on the 8th day of the infant's life. So that's part of the meaning of the 8thness, if you will, of Bris Milah. I wish you a great day and a great Shabbos.